This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and far. You see, this is what I was talking about. He Knows Everything fanboys brought it to He Knows Everything. Yo, man, what do you got to say about Fire Marshal Bill creating the fires but unwilling to put out the fucking smoke? What do you have to say about him and what he's saying about James Harden and how James Harden fell off? He's a Fire fucking Marshal Bill, man. Fire Marshal Bills create fires, but they're unable and unwilling to put out the smoke. Hence the terminology, hence the name, hence the billing. Fire Marshal Bills. This is what they are at their truest and their most properest levels. A Fire fucking Marshal motherfucking Bill. Fire Marshal Bill, if you watch it Live in Color, you would understand what I'm talking about. He's supposed to be a fire marshal. Fire marshals are supposed to be experts at putting fires out, but he's always creating one. He always seems to find himself in a precarious situation where he can't put one out. Well, this is what this guy is, the Black Fire Marshal Bill. James Harden did not fall off. If you know anything about basketball, if you're using the true basketball eye test, you would know this. James Harden is playing out of character and he's playing out of position. Let me say it again. James Harden's playing out of character and he's playing out of position. Let me explain. I have to expound on these things because He Knows Everything always has to break it down at three-dimensional thinking level so that you can get it computed at basketball 101 level. Let me say it again. He Knows Everything has to break it down at three-dimensional thinking level so that it can be computed to your peon brain at a basketball 101 level. Let me break it down to the basketball 101 level. Kyrie Irving is not there. Kyrie Irving is the number 2. See, in basketball, you have what's called a hierarchy. He Knows Everything explained it, but he's going to always re-explain it. He's always going to reiterate it. He's always going to re-ingratiate it. He's always going to re-invite it back to your corpus callosum, back to your cerebellum, back to your medulla oblongata, because it has to stick in your subconscious. So that way, once it sticks into your subconscious, then your conscious mind can be conscious of it. And here's what you need to be conscious of as it filters through your subconscious mind. This is the right way to neuro-linguistic program people into true and rare NBA knowledge purist folks. Basketball has a hierarchy. There's an option 1. That's that guy. You know unquestionably, unequivocally, and without fail that this is the guy on the team. There's no arguing it. Even guys that are LeBron-tards understand this concept. They understand that that guy right there is the best player on the team, unquestionably and without fail. And he has to be the focal point. He has to be the centerpiece of the team. The team revolves around him. The climate of the team revolves around him. The team was built around his landscape and skills so that basically it could complement it well and it can put the team in what's called a championship aspiration goal. So that's option 1. Then there's option 2. Option 2 basically supplants and supplements option 1. You know how when you eat healthy foods, but because of the soil that we're in today's day and age, the foods are not enough. So you have to take supplements to supplement what you are already doing that's great. Well, Kevin Durant is basically the healthy foods. Kyrie Irving is the supplements. He's the vitamin D, he's the vitamin C, he's the vitamin E, he's the selenium. He's basically what we would say mushrooms. Mushrooms is a good vitamin for your immune system. AHCC, zinc, you name it. You can individualize it or you can get a high quality multivitamin that has all of these ingredients all into one. It's totally and utterly up to you how you want to go about it. But that's Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is the supplement. But no matter how healthy the foods are, the soil is not completely rich. So you need the supplements to supplement, to supplant what the healthy foods are already doing. This is why the Brooklyn Nets are out of whack. Because the cultivation of the team has to have a Kyrie Irving at the wheel, being that contrarian, once and upon a time, true alpha extraordinaire, governed by true alpha economics. He will no longer have those titles until he bends the fucking knee and takes the vax. Until he bends the fucking knee and takes basically the injection. Because what he's doing right now is not true alpha extraordinaire, governed by true alpha economics. It's contrarian nevertheless, but it's pure fucking beta supreme material. It's beta cuck male material. It's beta male material, masquerading itself as alpha level material. And even alpha males are being fooled by this. Even the very elect of alpha males are being fooled by this. You gotta see right through the bullshit and the fuck shit. No one's perfect. People can get fooled. Even the very elect are being fooled by it. Kyrie Irving, I done told you, is a retractor and a rescinder at his truest and his most properest levels. I don't trust him. You retract and you rescind LeBron comments, you lost all my trust. You retract and rescind Nike comments, you lost all my trust. And you constantly sit here and now, previously, you retracted retirement statements. He's a retractor and a rescinder. The team is built upon his supplements to come in and supplement the healthy foods that Kevin Durant has basically been feeding off of, the lack of the rich soil. And then you have James Harden. James Harden is supposed to be basically an additive. See, additives are there to help. They're there to strengthen. They're there to give some boost. But they are what the fuck they are, additives. You don't need additives. Additives are not a necessity. Additives are expendable. That's what the fuck James Harden is. He's a third fucking wheel. He's a Tony Romo, aka Zab Judah. He's always been that at his truest and his most properest levels. So James Harden didn't fall off. James Harden is actually in character. The problem is you're expecting an additive to be a supplement. Woo! Breaking this thing down in a scientific form, dog. So get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling, dog. Like a turkey. Gobble that thing up. You're expecting an additive to be a supplement. Additives are not necessary. Supplements are. Because supplements help with your daily well-being. Healthy foods are the number one, because without healthy foods, everything else doesn't matter. You don't need supplements to survive. You need supplements to help nourish you on another level. You need the healthy foods to help you survive. You see the levels to this? You see the levels of the necessities? But additives are not needed at all. Additives are just there to be something to just make you feel like, okay, you got an extra boost. You got an extra oomph. That's what James Harden is. That's what James Harden has always been. The greatest six-man basketball's ever seen, right next to Jamal fucking Crawford. Or a third fucking wheel. So when I see James Harden screwing up, nutting it up the way that he's doing, especially in the regular season, which is concerning, it has nothing to do with the fact that James Harden has fell off. It's just James Harden is so used to, in the Houston Rockets, playing basketball in such an isolation-heavy, 23-second clogging, and basically him being basically what we would say the ultimate variation of a Tony Romo, aka Zab Judah style of basketball. You play that way for a number of years, old habits die hard. Let me say it again, old habits die hard. And he's trying to get out of that phase and go back to the original James Harden that he was when he played with OKC. These things take time, y'all. You guys have to understand, they have not really been together like that. Last year, Kyrie Irving sustained injuries. Kevin Durant was coming off of an Achilles. James Harden played a lot, but James Harden didn't play with these guys. This year was supposed to be the foundational year, but Kyrie Irving goes and fucks it up on some retraction and rescission bullshit. If he was there, the team would be clicking on all cylinders in their original mindset, in their original state. But this is what happens when supplements revolt. All you have is healthy foods with additives. And since the soil is not rich, the healthy foods can only give you as much as what the healthy foods can give you. It's going to be healthy nevertheless, but it's not like it's Western civilization soil where you don't need fucking supplements. This is the position that the Brooklyn Nets are in. And if you guys understand the similes being drawn here, if you understand how he knows everything, storytell this thing to perfection, then you will get why the climate of the Brooklyn Nets are in the precarious situation that it's in. It has nothing to do with a fire fucking Marshall Bill. This guy's creating the fires but unwilling and unable to put out the smoke. Notice he creates a fire, then he leaves. Because he's a fire marshal bill that has no fire marshal bill certifications. Let me say it again. He's a fire marshal bill without fire marshal bill certifications. Meaning, he creates the fire, and you Rudy fucking poo and plum brains, you classic fucking dose and troglodytes, you ultra fanboys and ultra fangirls with the ultra fanboys and the ultra fangirl rhetorics fall for the bullshit and the fuck shit. Because when it's all said and done, that's what it boils down to. It has nothing to do with everything a fire marshal bill is telling you. You can't believe fire marshal bills. That's why they're on comedy skits like In Living Color. That means you can't take them serious. That means they are circus clown affairs. He's not a real fire marshal bill. He's a comedy skit version. Woo! Woo, woo, woo. What I said was so deep and profound. Let me let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. So hear me and hear me. Motherfucking well. He's not a real fire marshal bill. He's a comedy skit variation. That means you gotta take him as a fucking joke. When it's all said and done, James Harden is basically going through growing pains. Basketball is all about synergy. It's all about harmony. Basketball is all about defining silver lining and defining moments of you basically being on the same fucking page. And you know how that happens? Everybody has to be linear with one another. Everyone has to be clicking on all motherfucking cylinders. And everyone has to understand that when it's all said and done, they have to have what's called symmetrical ways of playing. James Harden's trying to figure that shit out. I don't blame him. It's hard to figure that shit out. Because when it's all said and done, you've been playing monkey rabbit ass basketball in Houston Rockets for so long. So now you're up on the KD Trey 5. You're trying to get your OKC originality back. It's going to take fucking time. And it does not help that Kyrie Irving is not there. Why does he knows everything always have to come to save the day? Why does he knows everything always have to don the Superman cape? Why does he knows everything have to always bring you guys to cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-teller fashion? This is the climate of the Brooklyn Nets. But you know what Fire Marshal Bill is also doing? He's also in very high-level Finch Straddler beta, 50-50, shifty, beta cuck male, pure fucking beta supreme, mama's boy, pure fucking beta supreme fashion, shitting on the Brooklyn Nets so that he can dump on them because his fakers are fucking fake. His fakers got a Russell Westbrook of Russville. So because of that, he has to dump on the Brooklyn Nets. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat truth-teller fashion. I keep the foot on the what? Eggs. I keep the foot on the what? Eggs. Nothing gets past he knows everything, dog. He's the Sun Tzu, aka Art of War. 7 steps ahead of the game. He's 48 laws of power on that ass. He's a 3-dimensional thinker. So a peon brain of a comedy skit of a fire marshal bill, creating fires but unwilling and unable to put out the smoke, cannot hang with the mental aptitude, the mental variation, the intellectual capacity and capabilities of it. He knows everything. See right through the bullshit and the fuck shit. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. This is he knows everything. Check it out.